my letter's not that right.
That was interesting, wasn't it? Obviously, I'm extremely happy for those guys in the locker room. They persevered through some very, very interesting times, and I think it's part of the process. I think the first one had to be like that, had to be hard. But give Indiana a lot of credit. We knew they were really good defensively, and they made it hard. Their ball screen coverage was tremendous. They did a great job of really putting the clamps on Trent early in terms of the early part of the game. Juwan Morgan's terrific. He causes some problems. But I was disappointed in the start of the game. I thought the first half they had 11 assists, and that was, I think, the exact total that Michigan State had the entire game, or real close anyway. And that's the stat I pay attention to at halftime. Tijon was tremendous. I loved his defensive effort, his secondary ball handler, and then I thought Kipper again was great in terms of being able to make free throws. He was productive, and that was much needed tonight. So all in all, very happy, and now we get a couple days off, and we'll enjoy that kind of for the last break of the year, and then we'll get ready for Rutgers on the weekend.
Coach, what'd you like out of that Tijon, Trent, Kipper, and Black lineup here tonight?
Well, most of it was on the defensive end. It was a point of view where we get a little productivity. Kipper's coming off the night. We have 7 threes, so you've got to respect that. You've got to create. It creates space. I was looking for space all night for Trent, and we haven't been getting a lot of that. So I thought he could do that. I also liked the matchup with him defensively, Gordon McRoberts. So it was something that helped, and I thought Tijon defensively was great, and he gives us a secondary ball handler. It got the ball out of Trent's hands a little bit, and so I was, LeBron's LeBron, and LeBron's good. LeBron's really good. He dominated the game, and it's a bad feeling when he's sitting on the bench.
You guys weren't perfect down the stretch, but you survived, and you had games where that hasn't been the case. Is this
5 of them? Yeah.
Is this a sign of guys learning how to hang on, or do you take anything out of just winning a close one?
Yeah, what do you want to call it? The gorilla, the monkey, the piano, the whatever gets lifted off your back because you get a little better, you get a better feeling when you leave the building. And we can talk about those things and work on them. And I told Trent tonight, I said, you need to understand for the rest of your career, I'm going to put you in that spot. And I've been where he's at. I missed the free throws one night. And that's a bad feeling. And here's a young man that was happy we won and crying because he knew it wasn't perfect. But without him, he's in that situation. And I'm going to put the ball in Trent's hands the rest of his career. And he won't make those mistakes again. And the one that really upset me the most was the foul. That's compounded. But Shannon almost had to be like that.
What was the game where you missed the free throws?
1980. Ooh, gosh darn, now it's telling me. I don't remember who we played. But I remember stepping up with 1 second left and missed 2.
Second half, no minutes for Mark Smith and Monte Williams. You also went with a little bit of a larger lineup with Kipper at the 3, I guess, and talk a little bit about that.
Spacing. It's about trying to create opportunities for LeBron, opportunities for Trent with the ball. Kipper made 7, and I like the matchup. And And then we, defensively didn't feel like we were maybe as aggressive as we needed to be to start the game, and T-John gives us that. And so I felt like we could drive them, get the ball in the paint, and attack them, and pretty much what happened.
Brad, obviously Mark comes in, Mr. Basketball, high expectations. You kind of went back and forth whether to put high or low expectations on him. Just where do you think he's at, and how's he dealing with struggles at this level?
I think he's like any other freshman. I think that there's ups and downs in your freshman season, and I think every one of us have had that. And I've told Mark this. The rest of the country doesn't care that he's Mr. Basketball. Everybody's got McDonald's All-Americans and this and that. I mean, this is a state deal. I understand that. Mark's going to be a really good player. I mean, Mark will be a 1,000-point scorer here. He'll have a terrific career. And but there's always growing pains, and the other team's got good players. The other coaches have, but the other bench has guys who can really coach, and there's some adjustment. And he's been really, really good. I like the way he played offensively at Nebraska. I like the way he played offensively at Wisconsin. Problem is he's fouling all the time, and it's really hard to get into a rhythm. I mean, I don't know, he didn't make it the first media tonight, and he had 2. And so it's there's some challenges there, but man, you're talking about a terrific young man, terrific kid who works his tail off, and good things always happen to those kids. Good thing.
You mentioned yesterday that you were maybe ready to just do away with halftime if you could. And what did anything at halftime tonight help kind of that second half start?
Well, maybe the change in lineup. Maybe it's something I have to do all the time. I don't know. I mean, all we tried to do was challenge him to find 5 guys who want to compete to play. I was ecstatic at half. It'd be interesting to go watch the film. I didn't feel like we did very, very little right in the first half. Trent single-handedly kept us in it. A little bit of LeBron in there. But to be only down 2 possessions, I felt pretty good. And I was actually pretty positive. But we needed 5 guys to compete to start the second half. On the defensive end, like I said, the 11 assists was something. They ended up with 15, so they had 4 the second half. So it was a different story.
2 free throw attempts at half and then 30 in the second half. Was being more aggressive and attacking the rim something that was emphasized at halftime? Space.
We had space. Yeah, that was all we were trying to create. I mean, it's not been any big secret that we haven't made threes from our perimeter players, and Kipper making 7 of them was something that we were trying to figure out. I mean, it's been Kipper and Mike to a certain extent making threes. T-John made 1, and once we created a little space, we were able to drive it, and adding T-John in there with his ball handling got us in there, and we still missed some opportunities that I thought we had to drive the ball.
What compelled you to bring back the orange blazer? Did it have anything to do with throwback uniforms?
No, I felt it was just time. It's Indiana. Most Illinois folks aren't real fond of Indiana, so I thought we were going to roll with the orange blazer. Now you may never get it off me.
I don't know if it was the play of the season, but it sort of felt like it at the moment. Could you talk about the play where Trent drove and kicked to T-John in the corner and kicked to Kipper to get the 3? I think it was his only basket in the last 11 and a half minutes.
It's really good basketball, isn't it?
Yeah.
Turn down a good shot to get a better shot. And that, literally, that's our theme. I thought we did that against Michigan State. I thought we ran really good offense against Michigan State. We got to throw it to the makers. And T-John, we hit one in the first half, and Trick gave him a good pass there. Now he makes the extra. We work on that drill, Mark, every single day. Every single day. We call it Nike drill. And it's great to see it. And it's what an unselfish play by T-John. And you leave Kipper open, he's gonna make it.
Post defense, I mean, is there something you feel like you could take a step maybe to improve there? Because John Morgan had another one of those games.
Yeah, but it wasn't his, it's not where he hurt us too much in the post. They did a great job of ball screening and what we call a short roll, and then he drove us. And, you know, those are challenging, and give Archie a lot of credit, because that was the way they schemed us. They forced us to switch. And you know, Juwan's a small forward playing at the center spot due to their makeup of their team. So, you know, I felt pretty good about it against Michigan State on Monday. You know, all their points were lobs basically, but or in transition. But our best post defense is our perimeter defense, not allowing guys to catch on the wings. And we did that against Michigan State. We didn't do that tonight.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you.